Rabbit of Seville, 1950, Chuck Jones, Bugs Bunny, and an Italian genius named Gioacchino Rossini. Now, let me tell you about the man behind the music. Gioacchino Rossini, born February 29, 1792. Yes, on a leap day, which means he could only celebrate his real birthday every 4 years. Born in Pesaro, a small town on the Adriatic coast of Italy. His father played trumpet, his mother sang opera. By the time Rossini was 15 years old, he had already learned 3 instruments, sung in public concerts, and composed his first opera series. 15 years old. He was, and there's no other word for it, a volcano. In just 2 years, 1812 and 1813, he wrote 9 operas. 9, while also conducting, performing and traveling across Italy. And in 1816, at the age of 23, he wrote The Barber of Seville in less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks. Here's the wild part. The opening night was a disaster. The audience booed, they hissed, they laughed at him. Rossini was so shaken that for the second performance, he stayed home. The second night, the audience went wild with joy. By the end of that season, it was the most celebrated opera in Europe. The piece that nearly destroyed him became his masterpiece. Even Beethoven, who was not exactly known for handing out compliments, told Rossini directly, "Do more Barbier. More Barber of Seville. More of this." 2 centuries later, it is still one of the most performed operas in the world, and now you know where you first heard it. Now let's talk about what Chuck Jones and composer Carl Stalling actually did with that music. Because this is not background noise, this is not wallpaper. Every single gag in Rabbit of Seville is synchronized to Rossini's overture with the precision of a Swiss watch. The Barber of Seville overture has a famous shape. It starts quietly, almost like it's tiptoeing, then builds and builds until it explodes. Carl Stalling, the genius composer at Warner Brothers, kept that structure completely intact, just slightly sped up to fit the cartoon's 7-minute runtime. He didn't break the music. He honored it and built gags inside it. Screenwriter Michael Maltese wrote entirely new words to Rossini's melody. "Welcome to my shop. Let me cut your mop. Let me shave your crop, daintily." The lyrics are set so perfectly to Rossini's melody, that even Chuck Jones said, "Listening to it, you almost feel like those lyrics were written for this music 200 years ago." That's not an accident. That's the genius of the original composition showing through. One beautiful detail, the cartoon is set at the Hollywood Bowl. Years later it was screened there with a live orchestra playing Rossini. Art imitating life. Life imitating art. The rabbit came home.